So the event that I will be hosting at the British residence is a morning tea, and the main theme is about showing the stories and sharing the stories of women in Fiji. And the idea of the event is really about a celebration of the diversity of roles that are open to women in Fiji. And so we hope it'll be a moment of great joy for everyone involved. It's also, as you know, it's an area that the Duchess of Sussex herself is very personally engaged with, and gender empowerment is a theme that comes throughout all of her functions. I really just want to start off by talking to you about the rationale for this event. Right from the outset, we wanted to have something that really celebrated the diverse role that women can play in Fijian society. What I should say though is on the day we are going to have an incredibly short amount of time, so please bear with us for that. But I really hope this will be a great networking event for you as well, and this will be the start of conversations that you can take forward.
Baking here. So I've got the boys here doing savory muffins, some sausage rolls, and we've got some mangoes from our garden here. We're doing a mango cupcake. We also got something very interesting, that's a gin and tonic cake that's coming up. And we have frittata. This as well, there's a challenge. We've got a very short time and we've got just a few staff and a small kitchen, as you can see. But our challenge is to make it to the point and do the best. Okay. It will 10, 15 minutes.
It's going to be a moment of real celebration of Fijian produce, and we're delighted to have partnered with APTC. And the reason we chose APTC is partly because we've had a long-standing relationship with them, and the UK provides funding to APTC through the European Development Fund. But most importantly, we chose APTC because we were inspired by the young people that come through APTC. And we thought this was a great moment to really showcase the talent that is being developed in Fiji. So Elisi is the head chef from APTC, who'll be here on the day, and she's one of Fiji's top chefs, and the fact that she is female as well is another great message. And for us this is going to be a moment about really shining a spotlight on the fantastic produce that you can find in Fiji and the great talent that's being developed in this country.
Okay guys, come around.
Let's come around.
The four of you that I've selected already. Pao, Sevina, where's Eddie?
Eddie.
Okay, Eddie, so you guys know what groups you're going to be in? Sevina, you've written out the stuff on the wall. So can you update me on what we're going to be doing now?
Freddy, Pao, Saravina, Vinyana, and Arjun. They're going to work on the service.
And a few ginger. So for the guys who are actually doing the savory bit, make sure, okay, the tart shells, we need them to be nice and thin. Okay, palasami, the smoke, the heat up the stone so that we can get a nice smoky taste from the coconut. Okay, we're just gonna do the prep right now. Okay, so please just make sure, tick off what you've done. So we need to do blind baking, and the other one you're gonna fully bake using the Frenchipan. Let's go. It was actually my dream to become a chef. I've actually, when I was young, I thought of this as a good career path for me. Academically, I'm not really that strong, so I was more strong in my skill sets. And I've made my way in terms of going to cooking schools, and also working in resorts. So the first place I worked was in Tokariki Island Resort as a trainee. sacrificed one whole year, no pay, doing the work because I loved it. It was my passion. And also I went to other resorts such as Castaway, Fiji Beach Resort and Spa, and then I made my way here into APTC. So I started off as a tutor for patisserie and was mentored by Amanda Young, who's one of the famous chefs in Australia. And then from there, from patisserie, I decided to do more of a cookery training. Some of the food that we have here, we're going to incorporate the ingredients that we have. This is from a non-government organization group, all the way from Raki Raki. Yep. So the ladies have kindly donated us some of the mango chutney and pickle, and the honey, which is what we're going to be using in the desserts. And for the mango chutney, this is going to be mixed with our smoked chicken that'll go with the ndalo hash cakes. Yep. And then this one here, we will garnish it in our version of meat pie, which is the open meat pie. So that's what we're going to be doing. What we have here, we are going to be using the kumquats to make the kumquat tarts, kumquat meringue tarts. Okay, so we'll use the juice. And some of this will also be blended with our turmeric for the turmeric juice. We have our breadfruit here. So with the breadfruit, we are actually going to be making the breadfruit latte. It's like porridge, kind of, well, it's almost like a porridge. And also we are using this as a starch for the curry. So in our curry chicken, we're using breadfruit, and the liquid that we're using in the curry chicken is the coconut juice.
I'll hand over to Lauren, Lauren Bird, who has been our lead on this event, and I hope that many of you will get the chance to chat to her in a bit more detail. But Lauren is just going to go through some housekeeping rules for the day itself. The Duchess will be arriving before 11 with our High Commissioner, but we need everybody here. So today we had an opportunity really to gather not all of the women that will be present on the day, but to begin a conversation with a smaller number and start to run through what is going to happen on the day. We went through some of the protocol side, but it's also a really important part for me just to meet the women and to get to hear their stories. So on the day itself, we're all ready for the presence of the Duchess. Okay, great.
My name is Patricia Malam, and I've been invited by the British High Commission as a guest because of the work that I do in environmental advocacy as well as young entrepreneurship. As a mentor for young entrepreneurs and someone who champions entrepreneurship in Fiji, I try to encourage a lot more younger people to get into developing business ideas as an alternative to joining the workforce after studying or qualifications. And not everyone is able to go through university, not everyone's able to afford it, but then they have lots of creative ideas, they know how to solve common problems that you and I face. So entrepreneurship is an avenue which they can use to advance, like creativity, as well as begin to turn their ideas into commercial success.
I'm a major in the Republic of Fiji Military Forces. I joined the force way back in 1988, so it's like 30 years down the line. At the moment, I'm the commanding officer of the Logistics Support Unit, and I have about 200 plus male and female under my command.
Really excited, not only because she's the Duchess, but also because she's one of my favorite actresses from my favorite TV series. And being here and meeting all these ladies from all these different fields, some male-dominated, and some are just head of their fields. It's amazing meeting all these ladies and seeing what they're doing.
Thank you. My name is Naomi. and I represent the Pacific Disability Forum. I'd like to share more about the work that the Pacific Disability Forum is doing in the Pacific, more on issues around that concerns women and girls with disabilities in the Pacific region, and in particular all persons with disabilities, and the work that the organization that I represent that needs a lot of work that it needs to be done in the Pacific. We hope to share some of our achievements and our future work with the World Cup.
My name is Sonam Pratap, and I'm a pilot with Fiji Airways on the first officer on the 737 fleet. And I've been in that position for the last 2.5 years. The challenges I faced, I think mostly from the outside, was one, I am Indian. So an Indian girl, typically you're supposed to be getting married at the age of 20 something, and I had a few family members that raised concerns when I decided to start flying about that, about how I'd raise a family and stuff if I was flying. Obviously if somebody tells you that you can't do it, or if this is not good enough, then you just try harder and you keep telling yourself, I keep telling myself, if anybody can do it, I can. So that's been my motto. That's what I use personally.
Over on that end, it looks quite empty at the moment, but on the day we're going to have a cooking demonstration. And APTC are going to be providing a cooking demonstration on that side. On the other side, we're going to have Rise Beyond the Reef here with some of their handicrafts products.
What our team is actually doing now is the mise en place. The kitchen is not really as big as what we have here, so a lot of the preps that will be done at the back in terms of all the touch shells. The fruit carving is actually going on right now, so you'll get to see the fruit carving. And also for tomorrow, we'll get her to scrape coconut. I get a chance, and I'm so excited, I'll get a chance to cook with her and get her to make a breadfruit latte where she will be scraping the coconut and hopefully squeezing it and then doing her own mix of the latte, and then she'll taste it.
One of the things that really has stood out to me has been the visual side of all of this, and the fruit carvings that have been done have been quite spectacular. And then also showing the amazing ingredients that you can find here in Fiji.
And we have here, we are going to be serving boo juice, which is the young coconut. They're all done. So that's what we'll be serving. Apart from the curing juice, we have the young fresh coconut juice. And we also going to be serving water, which will be infused with some lovely basil leaves. For some good ones. So that's the basil leaf and lime. And that's actually to try and help cleanse the palate. So when they're eating so many other things, at least when they drink water, it cleans off and they can taste another type of food. So we're actually making a frittata. So this is the auto frittata. We've actually added a few sun-dried tomatoes and cheese. And what I'm currently doing now is I'm actually trying to mold or put the lining on the tin so that it does not stick by the time it gets cooked, because of the amount of cheese that we actually put inside.
Mata ngana na kivi matalotu ere tu tagi tu na daga ni viva de tagi sana sonya ni tu ni tambua e bina mento donu ka saba
So things like the Ndalo hash cake, we have to start doing it now. We can use that oven for now. Yep, that one all goes this side. Set? Okay, right. Organize yourself in your pairs. The food will come out from this way.
Yeah.
So we'll have one side that's gonna have the sweet and the other side is the savory. The ladies, they want ladies in the front. So Torika, you're gonna be on one end. Okay, Nisha, you'll be on this end. So most of the stuff, we've got the leaves. It's okay. We're gonna cover this space again with the leaves. Some of the food will go on the leaves, some of them will be on the platters. So we've got everything done, set. Let's go now to the kitchen. There was a lot of challenge that we face in terms of they would think like for ladies it's better off that you go and peel potatoes or wash dishes, and I think it took a lot of courage where you have to stand up if you want to be part of the team being in the hotline. You have to voice yourself and show them that you can actually do the job. So there were a lot of challenges in the Pacific. So more, it's like a male is more dominant than female in our culture. But then when we come here, they see, oh, there's a female that's actually running it. So you have to stand firm and also show them that, yep, we can also do the job. Guys, what time are you going to do the sandwich? Right, what are you waiting for? Where's the glad wrap? Glad wrap?
We forgot our glad wrap. Yes.
Your Royal Highness.
Yeah, Malabnaka, Your Royal Highness. And then after that, you can then use mum.
Hot stove, we'll bring in the hot stove. Yeah. So we'll show her that this is how you do it. So what you'll do is you'll take it from here and then we'll cut it a bit smaller and then squeeze the coconut cream onto her plate. And then she mixes and then she eats. Set? Fantastic. Touch it. Right. So don't touch it. Don't touch that, don't touch that, don't touch it. You guys wait. You will do it later on. As I said, make the narrow hash cake, that's all. And it's a quick touch the chicken. So you guys are gonna pull out all the chicken from there and you're gonna wash it. And you gotta find Mary somewhere to make that thing work. Hurry up, I'm only giving you till 9 o'clock. Right here. The rest of you, look here. Look here. This is cross-contamination. This is custard. That's raw fish. You got the policy in there. You put it somewhere, organize yourselves properly.